Hey, good morning, everybody. John here at Havoc Maker Studio. And while I was waiting for this article to drop on Atomic Mass Games panel to play for Marvel Crisis Protocol, I've been working on a video for the Alamo Grand Tournament that happened over the weekend. Then I realized when I was going back and watching the video, making sure volume and everything was working, that I had included information I wasn't supposed to, possibly, maybe. So I have to redo that video. So now I'm swapping the order of this video release. But that's okay because now I get to talk about one of my waifus if I was to create a harem anime using Marvel Comics characters. We all know Supergiant, my lovely mental vampire slash psychic parasite, would definitely be in that group. I know that sounds really weird, but we all have our particular kinks, so let's not let's not split hairs on that. So Supergiant is a member of the Black Order. We talked about her previously in a couple of videos. Actually, she's going to be released with Black Swan. Hopefully, I think here in the States, I think it's slated between now and I think it's July 8th. I think that's the second weekend, the day before my birthday, which is really awesome. Though I think Europe is getting them June 10th-ish. So actually, in about 2 weeks, I think Europe is getting them, and then we'll get them afterwards. And I might be getting Supergiant and Black Swan earlier. So I'm hoping those things kind of pan out. At any rate, so we're going to talk about Supergiant, and we're going to compare her character card, to my predictions that I had, and see if my predictions are a little bit more refined over what I had with Black Swan. She is my second attempt at it, so I'm not too optimistic, but I think I'm still in the ballpark. We're going to see. So I'm going to have the link for this article in the description below. We're not going to read it verbatim because I don't want to take away from them and the chance for you guys to click on it, because they need that web traffic. So just click on it, follow the link, click on it. Even if you don't read it, that way they're getting the active engagement. And of course, follow them on Facebook and on Instagram. So let's take a look at her card. Now, I did double check. The healthy side, which is you're seeing right here, is the same as the injured side. So we're just going to put one card up. In this case, the healthy side, because I don't want to think of my super waifu parasite psychic entity lady being injured. So let's go with the healthy side and her looking all sorts of fierce. So Supergiant, aka Supergiant, has a 1 physical defense, which is a little alarming, a 3 energy defense, which is good, and a nice 4 for mystic slash mental defense. I think I was predicting a 5, but for some reason a psychic entity is only going to have a 4, so we'll just go with that. No problem. She has 5 health on both sides, so total of 10 health. That's cool. Threat 3, which is amazingly low, so we'll see why here in a second. Size 2, which I think in the future, all my predictions, I'm at least going to get one thing right, which is going to be their size, because I got her movement wrong. They put her at a slow movement versus a medium movement, which is a little weird, but okay. So looking at her attacks, we have Mental Vampire, which is a mystic attack, range 3, 5 dice, 0 power. That's pretty standard. After the attack is resolved, she's going to get 1 power. Okay, cool. So always going to get power. Drain life. After the attack is resolved, if it dealt damage, you can remove 1 damage from this character. Cool. That's a nice balance with having the 1 physical defense. So you're going to be able to still pull off some of that, mitigate some of that damage, though it's not going to be that much. Devastate Intellect, which is another mental ability or mental attack or mystic attack, and it's her only other attack. Range 2, which is really short, 8 dice, which is awesome, but 8 power. So before we go into it, if you have a way, after reading this, have a way to boost up that amazing 8 dice to 10, 12, whatever, I would do so. And anything that you can do to mitigate or reduce that power cost, do it. Though I have a feeling you're going to be able to generate a lot of power with her. So right now, with 8 dice at 8 power, let's see what you can do. If this attack would deal damage, you don't do any. Don't do any physical damage. Instead, the amount of damage that you would do, you reduce that character's power by that amount up to however much, whatever the maximum they have. So if they have, you do 8 damage and they got 8 power, they lose that 8 power. See what I'm saying? All right, now it has a lot of extra little flair to go along with devastating intellect. So if you get a wild symbol, you're going to cause stun. That's awesome. 2 wild symbols, you get to cause stagger. Now here's the whammy. This is a really cool power. I don't know anybody has anything similar. If you do know, put it in the comments below. If you happen to roll this combination of 6 symbols on those 8 or more dice, a critical success, you need a wild symbol, you need 2 hits, and 2 critical failures, that's the skull symbol, to pop off or to activate Devour Mind. After the attack is resolved, if the target character is healthy, it becomes dazed. Okay, which means you're likely that character is going to get flipped over on the injured side unless they have something that can counteract it. Now, if the target character is already injured, they become KO'd. That means they are out of the game. This is a really awesome ability. Probably be able to pull it off around turn 3, possibly turn 4, but I think turn 3, you might be able to pull it off 2 times, maybe 3 times. I mean, like I've pulled off Iron Fist, I think is his chi strike, his super big attack strike. I pulled it off 3 times against Juggernaut during the course of one game. That ended on round 5. So it's possible to pull this off if you play your cards right, so to speak. So I think that is awesome. That has a lot of potential. That is scary. She's starting to look kind of like a glass cannon, though. But let's check everything else. Let's check everything else out. So she has a superpower called Submit. I don't know how often this will be used, but it's called Submit. It costs X power. You can use up to 5 power to use this. So you choose a civilian token within range X, so up to range 5 of this character. So however much power you spend, that's the range that you're going to do up to range 5. And then this character can interact with the chosen token without paying the power cost. So I don't know how often this will be used. This looks like a kind of a clutch moment type thing, like maybe near the end game, or this character's about ready to get tapped out and you need to score a victory point this round or something along that lines. And so interacting with the civilian token with up to range 5, or up to range 5, yeah, that might be a good thing. I think it's going to be very situational, but that's a nice little I'd almost say steal victory out of the hand of your opponent. And then we've got her reactive power, which is supreme control. It's going to cost 2. Basically, any allied character within range 4, if they get pushed, she can activate this power and they are not pushed. Another way to prevent you from losing a victory point and whatnot. Or having a character get pushed away, especially if they're about ready to activate and they were within range to pop off all their abilities. There's a lot of situational there. Both those, reactive and superpower, I think definitely situational. You might not see them all the time. I think they're a nice, hey, I have this ability. I might not use it, but it's nice to have just in case. So she has 3, that's 3 innate abilities. Her first one is ethereal. So if this character would suffer 2 or more damage from a physical attack or collision, you only suffer 1 damage instead. Additionally, if you take damage from a physical attack or collision, you drop all your objective tokens. Okay, that right there helps mitigate or reduce or not worry too much about that 1 physical defense. So no matter what, even if you just took like 21 dice attack from, I don't know, Juggernaut, for just as an example, it's a physical attack, and he does, say, 10 points of damage, which would totally flip you over, make you dazed or maybe even KO'd. You're only going to take 1 damage. That's an innate ability. And then remember, we got Mental Vampire. Well, there you go. If you dealt some damage, if you can deal some damage with Mental Vampire, you're going to heal that up anyways. Okay, I'm not. She's definitely, I think, still on the glass cannon side in some regards, but Not as bad. I don't think she's going to be a frontline fighter, but she's definitely an awesome support character, I think. I'm not sure where we're going to be playing at with her, but let's continue. So we have Omnipathy. We've talked about this power before in previous videos. So when an enemy character within range 3 of this character rolls one or more critical successes in any roll, after the effect is resolved, this character gains a power. Okay, I think I would have preferred, you gain a power for every critical success that they roll. But, I'll take that one, especially at range 3. You're going to have a lot of characters possibly in range 3. So you are going to be potentially siphoning a lot of power, especially with any roll. That means that, if they're rolling for team tactics stuff, if you're rolling for defense or attacks or superpowers, any time that you're rolling dice, your opponent's rolling dice, and they get a critical success within range 3, you're getting power. That's not too bad. And then you add that with her mental vampire, where she gets power just by doing the vampire, where she gets power from the attack, taking damage and gaining power. Plus, she's a gem bearer for the Soul Stone, which I believe the Soul Stone, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but if anybody uses a active or reactive power, superpower, within range of her, she gets a point of power, something along that lines. I can't remember the exact wording for that, but I'm pretty sure that's gosh darn close. So I'm not sure how I feel about this. I need to do a little bit more of a deep dive analysis, but I want to at least get this hot-ish take out there and go ahead and compare her to what I was predicting before. So let's take a look and see how right or wrong I am. Let's actually put up this one instead first. All right, so 5 health. I got the 5 health right. Hey, we got one right. So there's one right. One right. Medium movement. It's one wrong. Damn it. Size 2. Hey, I got that right. That's pretty easy to predict, but I got it right. I'll take that victory. A 5 threat. I got the 5 threat wrong. God dang it. So we got 1 physical defense. I put 4. The reason why I put 4, I know I put it there because she was intangible. She's a psychic entity, so she's not really physical. So I assumed that she would have a higher physical defense. But I got that wrong, even though we'll take that as a loss. So we're 3-2 now. Then we're looking at an energy defense of a 3. Ooh, I got that one right. And then, I am technically wrong with the Mystic. It's a 5. I went too high, or maybe they went too low. So I'm going to call this an even split. You guys can argue down below in the comments, but I think this is enough of an even split. Technically, I'll take the loss, but barely. But I think it's more of an even split, especially as my second time out. But you know what? You guys can call me out on it. Then let's take a look at her attacks. And I think this is where I'm really going to be failing. So my psionic attack versus her mental vampire. So range 4 versus her range 3. My 5 dice, same, 0 power. We're right there. Sap power and root. So I'm wrong about the root. I don't even know why I put root there, but whatever. Sap power, I would say I am right-ish. I think we're going to call this a victory. Even though it's drain life where she can heal, sap power, it's you're taking power away from people. I think it's close enough. I was in the ballpark. I think it's close enough. So right now, we're going to call that overall. I think the majority of what I have there is right. So let's go with a win on that one. Barely a win, but a win. Mind control attack was just a generic thing. This is right when I first started doing this. Sap power equal to damage, and then move target. I don't know why I didn't include any dice or range. I don't know about that. I don't know why I didn't do that. Interesting. Anyway, so we're close. We're very close. So I'm not going to count it as a win or a loss because of the range dice and the power cost. So we're going to put that off to the side. We'll just count that as even Steven. So if this attack would deal damage, they lose power instead. So I would say I'm right on the ballpark right there. Sap power equal to the damage. It's just you don't do damage, you're just taking power away. So I would say that's a win. Now the rest of it, move target, obviously we're not going to move target. In fact, we're stopping targets from doing stuff because stun, stagger, and KOing or dazing. So I'm being I don't know, facetious on that one. Okay, overall, I would say I'm close to this one, but I'm going to say with all those extra abilities, I'm going to take the loss on this, but it's not a complete loss. I would say because of the stun, stagger, and devour mind, I'm going to give it 75% wrong, 25% right. It's still a loss, but close enough. Possession superpower, it's going to cost 2. Target move or attack ally. Area attack, move targets. Well, I'm going to say if I'm going to still take the loss, but I'm not too far off when you take into account submit and supreme control, because the possession superpower, we're looking at 2 different powers there. So target move or attack an ally. Okay, we're not really doing anything like that. But we are preventing the moving of a character. So we're kind of in the ballpark. We're in the spirit of it. And then area attack and then move targets. In a way, submit is an area attack. I mean, I'm reaching here. Yes, I'm taking the loss, but I think I'm in the ballpark. So I'm going to go 90% loss, 10% success. But overall, it's a loss. So right now, I'm not doing too good. I definitely, I would say 1 out of 4 abilities I've only been roughly successful on. Overall, not too good here. Psychic entity, gain 1 power in the power phase. Okay. No, we're not getting that. But we do have the soul bearer, the soul stone. So in a way, we're close. And then if you take Omnipathy into account, I would say we're in the spirit there. I still think as a psychic entity, she should be gaining the 1 power per power phase. They should have done that. If they're going to do that for like Jean Grey, they should have done that for her. But then again, it's a balance issue. Okay, whatever. Plus adding all the flavor. And then I was wrong with the flight and immune to bleed and poison. So I'm going to have to take a loss on this one. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of all those abilities. Yeah, I gotta take a loss. And even though the victories are stretching it, I would say I'm about 90% wrong, 10% right ish. I'm not even going to try to calculate. You guys can go back through, put it down in the comments below how right or wrong I am on this one, if based on what I've been saying. But I think in a spiritual sense, I was in the ballpark. Obviously, I can't predict everything because I have no idea what the creators are thinking. So Heimdall and Scourge, I have a feeling, are going to be a little bit more refined and will have a much better view. I'm not going to go back and change them based on what I've been seeing and learning as I go through this predicting process. But future ones, I think, will be a little bit more refined. I'm looking at doing the Winter Guard. So let me know if you guys want me to break down my predictions of the Winter Guard if we get them at some point in time. Let me know what you guys think of the video. Obviously, please hit the subscribe button, share this out. If you guys are going to leave a dislike, I would really like to hear why. So put it in the comments below. And I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. And hopefully later on this week, we'll have some team tactic cards and we can try to piece together what makes Supergiant and Black Swan must-haves for the Black Order or your roster. I'm not sure yet. Supergiant's going to have she looks right now, she's got a weird place. I think Black Swan fits in pretty much anywhere. But Supergiant is going to require she's a finesse character. Definitely a support character. I don't know where to put her just yet. I need some time to think. Plus, let's see those team tactic cards. Anyways, you guys have yourself a wonderful Monday. I'll have that Alamo GT video out for you later. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.